the difference. 1. Uniqueness. Primary key index ensures that no duplicate values exist in the columns it indexes. It is used to uniquely identify each row in a table. Unique index also ensures uniqueness, but its purpose is to prevent duplicates in a column while allowing one null value. 2. Null values. Primary key does not allow null values. Every row must have a value for the primary key, as it's the unique identifier for each record. Unique index allows one null value because null is treated as an unknown value in MySQL, so it doesn't violate the uniqueness constraint. 3. Purpose. Primary key. The primary key is the main identifier for the rows in the table. Every table should have one primary key, which is used for indexing and querying purposes. Unique index. A unique index enforces uniqueness in a column, but is not necessarily used for row identification. It ensures that no two rows can share the same value in the column S it indexes. 4. Clustered versus non-clustered. Primary key index, clustered. In MySQL, particularly InnoDB, the primary key is a clustered index, meaning that the actual table data is physically stored in the order of the primary key. This makes searching for primary key values very efficient. Unique index, non-clustered. Typically, unique indexes are non-clustered, meaning they only store the indexed values separately from the actual table data. The table's physical order remains unchanged, but the unique index still helps speed up queries by providing a reference to the rows. 5. Quantity. Primary key. A table can only have one primary key, which can consist of one or more columns, composite primary key. Unique index. A table can have multiple unique indexes on different columns or sets of columns. This means that a table can enforce uniqueness in multiple places, aside from the primary key. 6. Index maintenance. Primary key. Since the primary key dictates the physical order of rows in the table, maintaining the index can be expensive for insert, update, or delete operations, as rows may need to be reorganized. Unique index. Unique indexes do not affect the physical storage of the rows, so while they impose some overhead during insert or update operations, it's usually less costly than a primary key. 7. Enforced integrity. Primary key. A primary key enforces referential integrity between tables. For example, foreign key constraints refer to the primary key of another table, ensuring relationships between rows are properly maintained. Unique index. While a unique index can enforce uniqueness, it does not contribute to referential integrity and cannot be referenced by foreign keys. Example of a primary key. SQL create table users, ID int primary key, name varchar100, email varchar100. In this case, the ID column is the primary key, and it uniquely identifies each row in the users table. Example of a unique index. SQL create unique index IDX email on users email. Here, the email column has a unique index to ensure no two users can have the same email address, but this column is not necessarily the main identifier of the row. Performance. Primary key. Queries that filter by the primary key are highly optimized due to the clustered nature of the index, which makes data retrieval extremely fast. Unique index. While it also speeds up queries on the indexed column, it does not affect the physical storage of the data, and thus may not be as fast as a primary key when used for data retrieval. When to use each. Primary key. Use a primary key when you need a unique identifier for each row in the table. It's essential for ensuring that each record can be uniquely identified and referenced by other tables. Unique index. Use a unique index when you need to ensure that no duplicates exist in a specific column, e.g., emails, usernames, but don't need that column to serve as the row identifier. Conclusion. The primary key uniquely identifies each row in a table, enforces referential integrity, and does not allow null values. The unique index enforces uniqueness on columns, allows one null value, and is not necessarily tied to the row identification. While both play critical roles in maintaining data integrity, they serve different purposes.